Hello everybody, Lee Hunt here. I just want to have a chat today about the Titleist premium ball range, and if you know to pick which one's the right one for you, which one you may not feels right. But I just wanted to sort of test it in an indoor environment and see if the spin's a difference between the three big ones, essentially the Pro V1X, the Pro V1, and the AVX. I just wanted to see what the difference was. I'm going to hit about a 75-metre pitch shot today, and I'm just going to have a chat, hit a few. I haven't hit any balls previous to this with these three balls. I'm going to see how they spin differently, what the feel's like when you hit them off. I've got a 56 degree here, what the feel's like when you hit them, and you know, just see how it reacts and the height as well. So I've just got to set up here on 75 metres on the TrackMan range. I'm going to test that out, and then right at the end I've got the RCT ball. So you may not have heard about the new Titleist RCT ball. With that ball's designed in purpose for all these new indoor studios, so you get the most accurate spin data and launch data out of a ball with the TrackMan. It's a really good ball. I've been testing it for a long time down here at the Palms, and I just wanted to see how that reacts compared to the other three as well. I'm going to do that right at the end. So I'm just going to hit a few shots. We're going to have a bit of a chat about it. I'd love to get your feedback on it. If you've got any questions about it or any other golf balls, you can let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. It really helps the page and really helps me keep doing this and get some feedback on if you think I'm doing the right thing. So I've got my Gamer MG3 56 degree 14 degree, it's a high bounce wedge I like to use with my 56. I have a tendency to hit down a little bit more, so it gives me a bit more relief. I'm going to hit some balls now. We're going to have a bit of a chat about it, see what happens. So the first ball I'm going to try today is the Pro V1. So the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X have obviously been the leading balls now for, have to be 20 years, I think. Just an amazing ball, used on tours all over the world. The leading ball seems to lead the ball count every week. So it's obviously a great ball and a ball I've used in the past. So I just want to have a bit of a hit. I've always used a Pro V1X, but I'm just going to try the Pro V1 to start with. So I've got it set up at 75 metres, as I said. And we're just going to keep an eye on how it feels and the height it goes at and the spin rate that we're getting. Now 74 metres for me is a really nice, comfortable distance to pitch my 56. 85 metres, I've got to give it a little bit more. You can see that spun at 8,500, carried 78 metres. Pretty happy with that. First swing of the day. So it's a nice, soft ball. Feels really good coming off the club face. You tend to get a little bit of spin on this, which is good. When I'm pitching from this distance, I want my golf ball to land, check and stop. I don't want it to land, spin and come back 10 yards. So this is 8,500 again, or 8,580 on that one. Nice, consistent. Really, really reliable ball. Seems to fly very good in the air. They've done a really good job at optimising this golf ball, so you get the most off the tee and with your irons, but you also get a bit of feel around the green. I think that's one thing to keep in mind when you're trying to fit yourself for a golf ball. A lot of people seem to concentrate on how far it goes, but I think the most important thing is that you need to work from the green back. So does it feel good putting? Are you getting some grab around the green? Is it reacting on the green the way you like it? Does it feel good when you're chipping with it, when you're pitching with it? And work back. Don't work from the tee to the green. So you should always work back. So there we go. The consistent again, 86.80 with the spin. Very happy with that. And the flight for me, I really like. So it's certainly not low, but it's to fly really well and it's very consistent. We'll hit one more. We'll see what that spun at. 85. So what is there, 100 revs between the top and the bottom. Very consistent. Really nice feeling golf ball. I like the softness of it. I tend to feel it when I'm putting with the Pro V1. It's a little bit clicky, but I really like the feel off the club face. 8600 there, 8670. Okay, so we're going to change balls up. I'm going to go to the Pro V1X now. Okay, so the first one was the Pro V1. Now we're going to go to the Pro V1X. Here we go, I'll set this up. Now we'll see how this thing reacts. There shouldn't be much difference between them from this distance. I don't think there should be much difference in the spin. A little different feel. Came out a little lower actually, so I'm not sure if I caught that a bit on the bottom. Let's see what the spin rate does. 86, 85, so very consistent. I think what makes these golf balls so good is that they're very consistent when you hit them. And again, once again, the feel between the two golf balls, for me, are very similar. I really couldn't pick a change from the Pro V1 to the Pro V1X when I'm pitching it from this distance. That spun a little bit less, so there you go, 83.19. So that's the lowest spin we've got so far. It seems to be flying a little lower as well, so coming a little lower than the Pro V1, so a little bit more penetrating ball flight on that. Now that's what I'm getting when we hit it. When we all get a little bit different. That spin went up. That went up to 8800, but I haven't had one spin in the 9000s yet. So we hit one more. Definitely coming a little lower for me in grabbing. So a little lower ball flight, coming in lower to the green. You really want that thing to stop. 8000. So that is definitely spinning lower for me anyway. Now the one I'm really interested in now is the AVX. Now this ball's been hugely popular with the amateur golfer. See, it's meant to fly a little bit lower. It's a softer feeling golf ball. You know, so we'll see what it spins like. You still get the performance around the green, and that's what we want, obviously, and that's what we expect when we pay for a premium golf ball. And Titleist have always prided themselves on having, you know, performance around the green all the way back to the tee. So we'll see how this goes. The golf ball itself, just before I hit it, the cover on it, for me, looks a little shinier than the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X. I'm not sure if that's the dimple pattern being a little bit different, but if you've looked down at a Pro V1 or a Pro V1X your whole life or for 20 years, and then you look at a golf ball that's got a different dimple pattern on it, it can put you off a little bit, but it's definitely a different colour than the other two golf balls. So be interested to see why that would be, but okay, here we go. Really need to listen to the sound of this ball when we hit it. Definitely softer. Definitely softer. Definitely softer when I hit that. So let's have a look at the spin. Okay, 83.50, so that's a little lower. Definitely a softer feeling golf ball. And if you listen to the noise when we hit it, yeah, definitely a softer feeling golf ball. I like the performance. It's landing on the green and just releasing out. It's not spinning backwards like the other balls were. 8200, so it's spinning a little less than the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X. The other two balls are around about the 85, 8600. So that is spinning a little lower at 8200. Certainly not a problem though. I think you could have no dramas with this ball on greens that were pretty receptive. I wouldn't want to be going into a really hard green with this ball for me personally. We might struggle to stop that on the green. I really felt like there you go, 8100. 8100 in the spin there. So it certainly doesn't spin as much as the Pro V1 and Pro V1X pitching into the green. But in all fairness, you know, it's not designed to be a high spinning golf ball going to the green. It's certainly got enough on it to have that workability, but it certainly doesn't spin as much. I'm going to try to squeeze this one out really, really low. See if I can get the ball to, you know, come in a little lower and spin a little bit more. Just see if we can do that with this, because it's a little different flight than the other two balls. The softness is really interesting on that. Like it's very soft when you hit the ball. It's actually a really nice feeling golf ball. But there you go, 7,800. That's the lowest spinning we've had so far. Now the final ball I want to test is the RCT. Now the RCT golf ball, if you can see that, when you find one of these, I'll have a little RCT on it. If you can see that, okay, it's a ball that Titleist have done with TrackMan. It's been a few years in the making, and it's something that we've really wanted in this indoor environment with the TrackMan unit behind it. It gives you a lot more consistent spin numbers, launch numbers, designed purposely just for the TrackMan, and they've done a great job on this. You can definitely see the difference when people are using it, especially when we're club fitting and giving lessons. It's really important that we have really accurate data, especially around spin when we're fitting people and giving lessons, and they do a really good job on this. So this RCT golf ball, definitely look around. If you've got an indoor environment that you go practice in, I would definitely recommend getting these golf balls to practice with. I think they're fantastic. Durability wise, you know, they work really well on the screens. A lot of golf balls, you know, discolor quite quickly and all that, but they've done a great job. So we'll see what this goes like compared to the other three golf balls. Okay, so Titleist said that you could use this ball outdoors and it'll react the same. So I might have to do a little video on what it's like out in the golf course, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so the first impressions was that was quite clicky compared to the AVX. So a little higher pitch noise, felt a lot harder off the face. There you go, spin 9,300 on that, 99,325. So that's spun the most so far. Okay, so we'll see how we'll go again. Quite a clicky sound. That one felt pretty good though. It's a little higher pitched sound off the face. What's the spin rate? 8,200. So the difference between the first one and the second was 1,000 revs different. I think I caught the first one a little bit flary. So we'll see how we go again. Noticeably a harder feeling golf ball. Definitely a harder feeling golf ball than the AVX, and certainly harder feeling the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X non-RCT. So there you go, the spin rate's come down again to 82.56. It feels like it's flighting a little bit lower as well when I hit that. So obviously the AVX, it flied a little bit higher for me, but 8,500. I'll hit one more. I think overall, just a little test, the Pro V1, Pro V1X, the AVX, very similar. The AVX obviously spun a little bit less, but felt a lot softer. So I think that's something that people get a bit mixed up with sometimes when they come in and they want a soft feeling ball because they get better feel around the greens, but a lot of the time it doesn't spin as much. So you've got to make sure that you can combine them both. Have a golf ball that feels nice when you hit it to what you like to feel, and that's very much a personal thing, but make sure it performs around the green. Yeah, definitely a harder feeling golf ball. Every single one of those felt a little bit harder. Now the nice bit is that fresh grooves on my wedge, and you can see here I've really left a lot of golf ball on that wedge. So interesting little test today. I can't see a lot of difference between the Pro V1 and Pro V1X. a little bit different in the flight. The AVX, definitely a softer feeling golf ball, really soft feeling golf ball. Didn't spin as much. And then the RCT, spin rate apart from the first one was very consistent around the low 8300s, but as a golf ball for me, compared to the other three, that felt a little bit firmer. Now, I'm not sure if that's the makeup of the ball, so they can get the radar to work well with that. Titleist say that it performs the same, and I believe them on that, but it definitely feels a little bit harder. So I'd love to get your feedback on that. Have you tried the RCT outside on the golf course? Have you been fitted indoors and had a lesson indoors? And did they use the RCT golf ball, and how did you find it? And then, you know, the feedback on Pro V1, Pro V1X and AVX. If you're a Titleist user and a Titleist Premium user, what ball do you like and what do you like about it? So leave all your comments below. We'll see you on the golf course. I hope that helps.